Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Jane, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Nike. How are you doing today, Nike?
I'm good, Jane. How about you?
I'm doing great, but I have to say, I came across a very concerning report that I think we should discuss on the show today.
What report is that?
Well, the EU Law Enforcement Agency published a flash report on Monday, warning that ChatGPT and other generative AI systems can be employed for online fraud and other cybercrimes.
That's quite alarming. ChatGPT has become one of the fastest-growing internet services since it was launched at the end of November, surpassing 100 million users within the first 2 months. It's clear that its unprecedented ability to generate human-like text based on prompts has gone viral.
Absolutely. Large language models that can be used for various purposes, like OpenAI's ChatGPT, can benefit businesses and individual users. However, the report underlines that they also pose a law enforcement challenge as malicious actors can exploit them.
Criminals are typically quick to exploit new technologies, and it's no surprise that they've already come up with concrete criminal exploitations of ChatGPT, providing the first practical examples mere weeks after the public release of the system.
That's true. And now, we're going to dive deeper into the system's weakness as highlighted in the report by the EU agency.
Yes, the report highlights how ChatGPT's moderation rules can be circumvented through prompt engineering, which is the practice of providing input to an AI model to obtain a specific output.
And as ChatGPT is a relatively new technology, gaps are continuously found despite constant patches. These loopholes might take the form of asking the AI to provide the prompt, asking it to pretend to be a fictional character, or providing the reply in code.
It's interesting to note that the report also mentions other circumventions, such as replacing the trigger words or changing the context later during the interactions.
Absolutely. These workarounds constantly evolve and become more complex, which poses a significant challenge for law enforcement agencies.
And while AI tools like ChatGPT have the potential to be very useful, we need to be aware of these vulnerabilities and take appropriate measures to mitigate the risks.
Exactly. It's essential to have a strong system of checks and balances in place to ensure that these tools are not misused for fraudulent or malicious purposes.
And it's not just law enforcement agencies that need to be vigilant. Businesses and individual users also need to take steps to protect themselves from potential threats.
For example, businesses can consider using multi-factor authentication and other security measures to safeguard their data and systems.
And individual users can be cautious about the information they share online and be aware of potential phishing scams and other online threats.
So, it seems that ChatGPT and other AI models are not only powerful tools, but can also be exploited for malicious purposes.
Yes, the ability of these models to generate realistic human-like text based on prompts has made it much easier for criminals to carry out various types of crimes.
That's right. For example, phishing is a crucial application area. In the past, these scams were easily detectable due to grammar or language mistakes. But AI-generated text allows these impersonations to be much more realistic.
Right. So AI-generated text can help fraudsters create fake social media engagement, making fraudulent offers look more legitimate.
Yes, this is a real concern because it can make it much harder to distinguish between what's real and what's not. And it can also help to spread disinformation and propaganda.
And it's not just limited to text either. ChatGPT can also produce code in different programming languages, which can be used to create malware and other types of cyber attacks.
Exactly. And beyond text, ChatGPT can also produce code in different programming languages, expanding the capacity of malicious actors with little or no knowledge of IT development to transform natural language into malware.
That's really frightening. So, if prompts are broken down into individual steps, it's trivial to bypass the safety measures, making it much easier for cyber criminals to carry out their activities.
That's a scary thought, especially since it's so easy to bypass the safeguards that are put in place to prevent malicious code from being generated.
Yes, that's right. And not only that, the AI's capacity to impersonate specific people's style and speech can lead to several abuse cases regarding propaganda, hate speech, and disinformation.
Yes, It's alarming how these voice cloning apps can mimic someone's voice just by using a short clip. It's important for people to be cautious and verify the story before sending any money. If you made a TikTok video with your voice on it, that's enough, said Haney Farid, a digital forensics professor at the University of California at Berkeley, told CBS MiniWatch. Even a voice mailbox recording would suffice. For example, the best thing you can do is to be aware of the risks and to take steps to verify any calls or messages you receive. Don't trust anyone who asks you to send money or personal information based on a phone call or message. Always call the person back on a number you know is theirs and confirm the story before taking any action.
That's right. The FTC recommends using a phone number you know is theirs and reaching out to your loved one through another family member or their friends if you can't get in touch with them. It's always better to be safe than sorry. And it's a good reminder that as AI technology continues to advance, we need to be more vigilant and take extra precautions to protect ourselves from these kinds of scams.
Yes, we also face this problem in the media space. Recently, AI-generated images of former U.S. President Donald Trump resisting arrest were circulating online. The images were widely identified as fake. Others have used AI tools to copy the voices of President Joe Biden and other political figures, with many sounding nearly identical to the people they are impersonating. The potential for disinformation is high, and it's important to be vigilant about the sources of information we trust.
Definitely. It's important to educate people about the potential for deception and fraud using these technologies, and to implement safeguards and regulations to prevent their misuse.
It's clear that these models have a lot of potential for good, but we need to be aware of the risks and take measures to prevent them from being used for criminal activities.
That's right, Jane. While these models are designed for various purposes, they have the potential to be misused for malicious intent, and the risk is only increasing as these systems become more sophisticated.
Absolutely. As the European Parliament is finalizing its position on the AI Act, which aims to regulate the use of AI in the European Union, there are discussions around introducing strict requirements for foundation models such as ChatGPT.
Yes, and Europol seems to be warning that even with these regulations, the challenge posed by these systems will only increase. One of the risks they highlighted is the potential for these models to be used to generate highly convincing deepfakes.
That's a major concern. The potential harm that can be caused by deepfakes is vast, from causing reputational damage to individuals to spreading disinformation at a mass scale.
And there's another risk, which is the possibility of these models being available on the dark web without any safeguards and trained with harmful data. The question of how to regulate and police the data that feeds these systems is a significant challenge.
It certainly is. With these large language models becoming increasingly available, it's essential to address the risks they pose and ensure that they are not misused for harmful purposes.
That's right. While AI has the potential to bring numerous benefits to society, we need to make sure that we are also aware of the risks and take steps to mitigate them.
We hope that this discussion has been informative and thought-provoking, and we encourage our listeners to continue exploring this topic and to stay informed about the latest developments in the field of AI. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you more exciting and insightful discussions in the future.